welcome back to CTM Performance.
Hi, welcome back. We've got a couple of fit heads here. I'm going to spin you around and show you what we're doing on these. So this has been fettled out. Someone had already previous worked it on the port ends. So I've had to smooth them out a little bit better, make them look a bit better than what they were. They weren't done very well. As you can see, this one we haven't touched yet. We ain't going to do nothing with this one. We had to match this. So as you can see, this has got a chamber already. Nick's already machined out the chamber for this. Unfortunately we didn't get it on video, but this didn't have a chamber at all, so we've had to machine that. Dean's got to blend it in later on, so it's all nice and smooth in there. I'm going to run paper through this in a minute, put some guides in it. Dean's going to do the chambers, and then we will show you what it looks like afterwards. So hopefully we should match it to this one. So check us back out soon.
Morning everyone, I hope I find you well. Nick at CTM Performance. I ain't spoke to you in a couple of weeks. I suppose we've just been busy in between after getting back from the show and then getting back into a bit of work. Just doing a little video here on a flywheel that a young customer he bought us two in to be modified to, I don't know what he's actually doing. He's putting them on a Mercedes Sprinter, but I'll just show you what I've had this morning. They bought it originally, and I had to machine the top part of the flywheel and this edge here down. I think it was what he said, 43mm first of all, with a 1.2 lip, and I had to re-drill for the rocker cover. God, excuse me, please now. What day is it? Flywheel cover, which I did, no problem. Unfortunately, he come back yesterday. He got his measurements wrong, which, if you're in the modifying business, happens sometimes. So it's no problem. So I've now got to re-machine it. Unfortunately, the normal morning thing, I tried to take the 3 clutch nails out. 2 come out wonderfully, as they normally do, but obviously I've done too good a job of putting the 3rd one in, it decided to snap on me. So I had fun this morning drilling it out. I was going to show it, but then I decided I didn't want swearing online and that and whatever. But as I said, I've managed to get the actual dowel out, so I've now got to set it up in the big lathe, which is over there. So what I'm going to do is I'll set the camera up, I'll show you a bit of setting up, and I've got to re-machine it. He wants it down to 41mm from the back of the crankface, and I measured it, I think it was 43.2mm. So I worked out I've got to take, I think it was 92 thou off of that, and then this step face, instead of 1.2, he now wants it back to 2mm. So what I'll do is I'll take it off of here, I'll set the camera up, and then we'll start setting it up in the lathe and see how we get on. Right, so here we are. You can edit that out, mate, alright? Yeah, you can edit that out. Right, so here we are at the big lathe with the flywheel for the Sprinter. What I'll do is I'll start bolting it up in here, and I will move the camera in just so you can see the setting up of the dial gauge and that and whatever. I was just thinking about it. I'm not sure if this is to replace maybe a dual mass flywheel on Sprinters and that. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask the customer when he comes in. But as I say, I shall now move the camera up. Well, I'll bolt it in here first, and then I'll move the camera in a little bit closer, just so you can see the actual setting up and that and whatever, and how far I can get it out. Right. So lucky I already had the 4-jaw in here, so it's quite a lump to be lifting up and about. Right. That's just loosely bolted up in here. So what I do is I take the tool out of this, put the dial gauge on, and then re-put the camera on, and we'll talk about setting it up. Bear with us. Alright, so I moved the camera a little bit closer in the shot so you can see dial gauge set up on there. Normally set up sometimes on the inside, but this has got a little bush on there and I don't want to start disturbing that being a brand new flywheel. And so as long as it's a flat machine area to set up, you should be fine. I know you see the old dial gauge floating about, it's at least a revolution out there. So what I'll do is I'll start setting up this first, get it within a couple of hours hopefully, then put it on the face to get that and then go back. If I just go through and work it, then it just gives you something to watch. Right, here we go. Obviously try not to knock the dial gauge as you're doing it. Just keep on making your way round. And remembering what way does what. A little bit more off of that. I said you have to remember when you set up off a flywheel or any machining is to try and do it off a machined edge, so you know that that should be true to when it was first machined at the factory. Getting there. Sorry, didn't mean to knock the camera. Not the best stand. Now look, if we have a look here, I can put this in for you. You can see the gauge is only moving about a thou. So what we'll do now is now revert the gauge round on the front of the flywheel. So I'm using this. Actually, we're not a million miles away at all now. We'll try and get a starting point there. 3. So a little tap. With a good old copper hammer. I've seen some work, I know that. Still just that one. Perfecto. Again, if I go in slow there. Should be able to see I ain't going to get it no closer than that. And then we go back to the outside edge. Just to make sure that when we've moved that, we haven't disturbed the outside. Just the nets. We've got the 49, 49, 49. That'll do. So just make sure none of them have left loose, which they've not. So as we say, the flywheel now itself, just take this off the stand if I can. It's just easier, I think, holding the camera sometimes or whatever. Right, so as I said before, we're set up on the outside, set up on the face. As I said, I've got the two lips to machine. Got the 2 lips to machine. As I said, I worked it out. It was 2.3 mil, which actually works out. I think I said 97. No, it's actually 92 thou. So I've got machine 92 thou off of this, and then another 2 mil on top of that. So that's another 80 thou, isn't it? Yeah. So what I do is I'll probably machine this outside edge to its correct fitment first, and then take the 92 thou off of that. But I'll sort my tool out. Look. Yeah, I'll sort my cutter out, put it in, and then I'll set it up, and we can start machining. Bear with us. Right, so I'll set up the camera on the machine. I'm hoping it's not going to cause too much vibration when the cutting's happening. Just trying to get just so you can see a view of the actual work being done. But just so I'll set up now, I've worked out off of this face. I've got to take 124 thou off of that. So I've zeroed up on the inside, zeroed up on the outside. So let's take a 20 thou and see what happens. Seems to be cutting it okay. Not sure everything's done up, nothing's moving, nothing's vibrating. Nice. think what I'll do is I'll finish on this cut here. So I'm just concentrating, so a lot of talking ain't going on that in a minute. Do is I'll finish this cut, I'll stop the video, I'll do a few more, wait till the last one, because I'm sure you don't want to just watch a load of minutes of a lathe being turned. As we said, yeah, that's working out fine. So what I'll do is, I said, I'll pause it just for a minute, get to the last cut, then show you a cut over from the top holding it, and then we'll move to the inside one and carry on with that. Alright, bear with us people.
Well, that's the end of that video. Thank you very much for watching. With the flywheel, we're going to have to take it over to the next vlog because it's long-winded and stuff. But I hope you enjoyed the content on there, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.